There was a man named Mark who had always struggled to find happiness. He had chased after material possessions, social status, and relationships, but nothing seemed to bring him lasting joy. One day, Mark met a woman named Jane. She was smart, beautiful, and seemed to share his interests and values. They went on several dates, and Mark was convinced that he had finally found the happiness he had been searching for. However, after a few weeks of dating, Jane suddenly stopped responding to his texts and calls. Mark was confused and hurt. He had thought that things were going well between them, but now he was left feeling rejected and abandoned. As he tried to make sense of what had happened, Mark received a message from one of Jane's friends. The friend explained that Jane had never been interested in Mark romantically. She had only gone on those dates with him because she wanted to make her ex-boyfriend jealous. Mark felt devastated and deceived. He had invested so much time and energy into this relationship, only to be treated like a pawn in someone else's game. But then, Mark stumbled upon a Zen teacher who shared with him the idea of non-attachment. The teacher explained that happiness cannot be found through external possessions or relationships, as they are all impermanent and subject to change. True happiness, he said, comes from within, and it requires letting go of our attachment to external outcomes and circumstances. Through this teaching, Mark realized that he had been seeking happiness through external validation and relationships, rather than finding it within himself. He had been chasing after a fleeting illusion, rather than embracing the present moment and finding joy in his own being. Mark started to meditate and reflect on his own inner nature, and he began to cultivate a sense of non-attachment towards external circumstances. He learned to let go of his past experiences and future expectations, and instead found joy in the present moment. Through this process, Mark discovered a deep sense of inner peace and contentment. He no longer felt the need to chase after external possessions or relationships, as he had found happiness within himself. Years later, Mark met someone who truly loved and appreciated him for who he was, but this time, he approached the relationship with a sense of non-attachment. He understood that the relationship could change and evolve, and that his happiness was not dependent on it.